Hi guys, YGOSmurf here, and today we're going to be talking about how to make your first deck with the Structure Deck Yugi Moto. Videos by YGOSmurf. Be creative. In this video, I want to go over 4 things. 1, we're going to talk about what actually comes in the Yugi Moto Structure Deck. Secondly, we're going to talk about what Konami recommends you to do with the deck in terms of playing in a game and how to upgrade it, along with my comments on their thoughts. Thirdly, we're going to talk to you about how to make an actual deck that is at least semi-competition ready using, specifically for this video, the magnet warriors that come in this structure deck. And finally, I'm going to give you some recommendations and new cards that you can go out and purchase besides buying 3 Yugi Moto structure decks in order to up your new deck to its next level. Then, hopefully with all of that information, you will be able to make your very first deck using the Magnet Warrior engine to have some great fun playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Between yourself, friends, and even strangers. First off, let's go ahead and see what comes with a product of the Structure Deck Yugi Moto. Let's open this bad boy up. Technically, I've already opened this one, but essentially it's exactly the same as what you're gonna see. So like the back of the box said, in this you get a beginner's guide, a playmat / how to amp this deck up, and the 45 card deck itself. Let's go ahead and see a close-up of the cards. Structure Deck Yugi Moto. In his final duel, Yugi faced off against the Pharaoh. His only chance to defeat the Egyptian god cards was with his brand new Magnet Warrior deck. This structure deck collects all of Yugi's original Magnet Warriors and adds the brand new Electromagnet Warrior monsters, plus new spell and trap cards, and a new Mega Monster to assemble from your magnetic marvels. Magnet Warriors return. This structure deck includes 40 common cards, 2 ultra rare cards, 3 super rare cards, 1 beginner's guide, and 1 double-sided deluxe game mat / dueling guide with tips to bring you to victory. The breakdown of the deck is 23 monsters, 11 spells, 6 traps, and 5 fusion monsters. On the back of the playmat includes 3 helpful features. First, it shows the deck list of the cards in the deck, a combo flowchart, and power-up suggestions from booster packs. The flowchart covers the basic combos of the deck, including activating the Electromagnet Warriors effects to summon the vanilla Magnet Warriors and searching for the boss monsters, to using the field spell to help summon out more of the small Magnet Warriors in order to summon Berserkion or Valkyrion, and instructs you on how to use polymerization to bring out the fusion boss monster to dominate the field. In addition to this, the back of the playmat brings your attention to a few other very useful cards and an idea of when to use them. The first 2 cards that Konami recommends, 2 cards from the Duelist Pack Rivals of the Pharaoh, are Magnet Force and Magnet Reverse. Realistically, one of these is good and one is bad. Magnet Force is a keeper, allowing machine and rock type monsters to be unaffected by your opponent's monster's effects. Essentially, it stops you from getting hurt by your opponent's shenanigans for a turn. Magnet Reverse, however, only works on Valkyrion and Berserkion, and in a conditional way. Since Magnet Reverse does not specify that it ignores the summoning condition of those monsters if you have yet to properly summon either of them, but have them in your graveyard or banish zone, then you can't summon them at all. The next cards are from Dark Illusion, Triamid, Field Spells, and Block Dragon. Starting off with the field spells, don't use them. They all include 3 effects, 1 that helps generic rock monsters, and 2 that only work with Triamid monsters. If you are only focusing on Magnet Warriors, as you probably should for this deck, these field spells will be wasted resources and will only mildly help your Magnet Warriors. Their generic effects are on the screen. As for Black Dragon, not a terrible option as compared to some of the others, but unless you already have him and really enjoy his art, he isn't that helpful. Most of the rock monsters that you will have out are relatively low attack. Even Black Dragon isn't that strong. And due to the fact that you need Magnet Warriors in the hand or grave for Black Dragon as well as Valkyrion and Berserkion, he's taken away fuel from the original boss monsters of the deck. Shining Victories, Drowning Mirror Force, and Lunalight Black Sheep. Lunalight Black Sleep is a subpar monster who realistically isn't designed for any deck except a Lunalight deck. If you're that desperate to see polymerization more, just run another copy of it instead of this card. Drowning Mirror Force isn't bad, but don't be fooled by Konami's word. It is pretty easy to search the deck for the exact monster you want and need. This card is still a nice mix-up from the standard Mirror Force and can still definitely help protect your monsters and life points. Dragons of Legend. These cards are only helpful if you are running to run Dark Magicians, which, since you're watching this video, probably isn't the case. Don't bother spending the time or money trying to track these guys down. They aren't remotely useful to later builds of the Magnet Warrior deck. Okay, so now you have your 3 Structure Deck Yugi Motos, and you want to know how to combine them into your first Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I'm going to go ahead and give you the deck list that I'm suggesting and show you the pictures along the way. First off, we're going to start with 3 Beta the Magnet Warriors, 2 Gamma the Magnet Warriors, and 1 Alpha the Magnet Warrior. Then we're going to be running a singular Valkyrion the Magna Warrior onto 3 Berserkion the Electromagna Warrior. Next we have 3 of the Alpha Electromagnet Warriors, 3 of the Beta Electromagnet Warriors, and 3 of the Gamma Electromagnet Warrior. A singular polymerization, 2 spell shattering arrows, 3 swords of concealing light, 3 magnet fields, 3 rock bombardment, 3 mirror force, 3 magic cylinders, and finally for the main deck, 3 magnet conversions. Onto the extra deck, we're only going to be running 1 Empyreon Magnum, the superconductive battlebot. Onto some of the explanations behind this. We're going to be running 3 Beta Electromagnet Warriors because it has the highest attack of all of the vanilla or normal monster Electromagnet Warriors. Because we have so much searching, we don't really need to run more than one of the Valkyrion, the Magnum Warriors, because it's kind of a dead draw in the fact that you can only summon it if you have the cards in hand or on the field. And it's just another level 8 monster that we can't really do anything else with if we draw multiples. The reasoning behind running 3 Berserkion the Magnet Warriors is because it can be special summoned if you have the card in hand, on the field, or in the graveyard, so it gives us the most versatility in summoning compared to the more restrictive Valkyrion. We're running 3 of all of the Electromagnet Warrior monsters, the Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, because they all have good synergy with getting out our normal monsters to make sure that we have fodder for Berserkion, we can actually summon Valkyrion, 2 Beam Searchers, which allows us to get the card that we need on our turn. We're running 2 Spell Shattering Arrows because continuous spells and traps are pretty consistent with pendulums, field spells, and other nuisancey floodgate cards that will hamper us even more. We're running 3 Swords of Concealing Light because most monsters have lower defense than attack, which allows our most of the time poor attack lower level monsters to go ahead and destroy some of our opponent's high level monsters. We run 3 of the field spell, Magnetic Field, because it allows us to deal with our opponent's monsters that we can't get over by bouncing them back to the hand if one of our monsters gets attacked or attacks and the opponent's monster is not destroyed. On its own, this deck might not seem that good. It could be due to the fact that they tried to shove 2 or 3 themes into the structure deck, but ultimately we still have enough cards to make a good, reliable, and fun deck. So now you have your base Magnet Warrior deck, and you want to know how to upgrade it. So there are 4 cards that I would recommend getting first that will really pump up your deck. One is to get a card called Trade In. Trade In allows you to discard a level 8 monster to draw 2 cards from your deck. This is essential due to the fact that we have easy searching for level 8 monsters, and potentially those level 8 monsters are dead draws and not always useful in our hands when we draw them. Secondly is to get a card called Terraforming. Whenever you play this spell card, it allows you to search out any field spell card in your deck, namely Magnet Field. This is essential to your deck because it not only helps you summon more monsters, search your deck more, but it also helps get rid of your opponent's monster. The third card that I'm going to recommend you getting is also recommended by Konami, and that card is Magnet Force. It makes your monsters unaffected by your opponent's monster's effect. This is due to the fact that all the monsters in the main deck are rock type, naturally. Lastly, it's a card that's not really related to any of the themes in this deck, except it is related to kind of the standard meta. And this is one of the cheapest options that you can go to, and that is Breakthrough Skill. It is a normal trap card that allows you to negate a monster's effect until the end of the turn. In addition, that when it's in the graveyard on a separate turn, you can banish it from your graveyard to target one face-up monster your opponent controls and negate its effect. So Breakthrough Skill is a super cheap 2-for-1 card that is really great. There are stronger alternatives, but for this, I wanted to kind of keep it in a more budget-friendly. After you play a couple games with this deck against other people, you'll definitely know some of the more expensive staple cards that are out there. For these cards, I'd recommend running 3 trade-ins. In addition, you would bump Valkyrion to 3 in your deck, as well as still maintaining the 3 Berserkions. Secondly, I would run 1 Terraforming with 2 or 3 Magnet Fields. With Magnet Force, I'd recommend 1 to 3 depending on your playstyle, so let's say 2. Breakthrough Skill is very similar, as it kind of depends on your playstyle and how much monster negation you think you need, but anywhere from 1 to 3 you really can't go wrong, so let's say 2 again. I want to bring a card to your attention. It is a card that is not currently out in the TCG in America. However, it is currently out in the OCG and should be coming soon-ish. And that card is Delta the Magnet Warrior. Essentially, it's a level 4 Magnet Warrior rock monster that is summonable by your Electromagnet Warriors during your opponent's turn. In addition, this card gives us an alternative way to summoning Valkyrion the Magnum Warrior. This card can be essential to getting out quick and effective Valkyrion summon. Not only does Delta the Magnet Warrior allow you to summon Valkyrion, it allows you to do it with any of the Electromagnet Warriors or the regular Magnet Warriors, as long as it isn't Delta himself. So definitely keep an eye out for him when he does come around. He will definitely make your deck better, and I'd recommend running him at 2 or 3. If you know about any of the dueling simulators like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, Dev Pro, they use a special file for each deck called a .ydk file. Essentially, this is a file that allows you to drag and drop decks from friends and other people. I am offering for sale a package of 4 of those .ydk files and comprehensive deck list for those 4 decks. The 4 decks that you are purchasing in this file for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulator are the standard Structure Deck Yugi Moto, the Magnet Warrior deck made from 3 Structure Deck Yugi Motos, my upgraded version of said deck, and a 3rd deck which will include Delta and how I would run it in a deck of the Magnet Warriors. If you're interested, please see the link below. That's how you can make your first deck using the Structure Deck Yugi Moto. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video and you have gained some benefit from it. Please let me know if you like this video by commenting or giving a thumbs up. Subscribe to me if you deem me worthy. Have a wonderful day, guys. See ya.